Hi everyone, Nancy Burt-Preece here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Here's all my contact information. Please reach out if you don't have a demonstrator. I'd love to be yours. And please check out my social media. I'm constantly posting things. So today we are going to make a card called the pinched paper technique. I've seen one like this where you just flip over the edges. This one does it a little bit different. And I'm using a new stamp set, the Scallop Wishes. I like this because it has so many different sentiments that people can use. So I really enjoy this card. It is also using, I have to think of the name of it, the Lovely and Beautiful Specialty Designer Series paper, which is truly gorgeous. If you haven't gotten any of it, you really should. It's gorgeous paper. The only ink we need is Memento Black, and I'm only using one stamp set, and one ink color. I did cut out a die from the Scallop Wishes, and I did make a sticker, and you notice I missed that part, but I'll show you how the sticker works. So some of the measurements are a little different than we're used to. It starts out with a 5.5 by 8.5 Calypso Coral, and I have scored it at 4 1/4. That is our typical card base. So that one is the same. We'll talk about the 6 by 6 paper we're going to use next. Now, this is what's different for this one. This is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it's very close to the edge on purpose. I tried to jiggle the numbers, but these really work the best. So I'll show you how we do that in a minute. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to cut this. So I'm going to move these to the side. This is a 6 by 6 paper. I like this paper because there really is no direction to it. So it's nice to use for this type of technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my paper trimmer. I've got a 6 by 6. I'm going to use everything but a 3 by 3 inch square. So this is from Rachel Tessman. This is considered the pinched paper technique because it looks like you pinch it. So the first thing you're going to do is pick whatever you want as the bottom. And you're going to take off 3/4 of an inch. So I'm using my black blade to take off 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to set that piece, if I can get it with my fingers, aside. Now I've got a 5 1/4 inch piece. I'm going to turn it like this. And the first cut I'm going to do is 2 1/2, I think. Let me check. I thought I wrote it down. I knew it. 1, 2, 3. I think that is, wait a minute, I'm looking at the wrong thing. 1, 2 1/2. I was right. I just doubted myself. 2 1/2. Then I'm going to take these two and cut them in half. And it's going to see it's a 3 1/2, so it's going to be 1 3/4. Okay. The only other cutting I have to do is this. I want this to be 5 1/4. That's your only scrap right there. That's it. You use everything else on the 6 by 6 piece, which I really like. Golly gee, I'm having trouble. Okay. So let's put this card together. It is unbelievably easy, and yet it looks really fun. This time, I'm going to do this part and put this as the accent. So we'll see. Is there a wrong or right? Nope, there really isn't. Our double side paper is gorgeous, so you can do whatever. I will have other sayings if you come to one of my classes where we make this card, And I will have other sayings, and I have to move this up a little bit because I forgot I made this a little bit different than I normally do. So let me move this up just a smidge before I put it completely down. It's not perfect, but it's okay. If you get a little extra, you can usually rub that off with your fingers. It's nice to have a gum eraser, but you don't always have to. And I got most of it off. And that's going to be my inside. I sometimes like to make cards that don't have a specific inside. I can add that later for whatever I might need it. So remember, this one is a little bit smaller. So you're going to have to, and I should have used liquid glue because it would have been easier to organize the card better. So the next time I put one on, I'm going to use liquid glue. So I'm going to do that right now because it's easier to get it squared up the way you need it. Alrighty, that one looks pretty good. Now I'm going to eyeball this. Now, could you measure it out? Absolutely. I'm not a measurer. I'm an eyeballer, and I'm okay with that. Some people like to have it measured out. You could do that too. But I'm going to eyeball it. I'm going to try to get it in the middle because I put a little bit of glue on it. I have a little bit of wiggle room. All right, there we go. Now these, I want this side to be up. So I'm going to actually glue it like this. And then when I'm folding up, you're going to see. So I'm going to, this one's going to go to the right-hand side of the card. I'm adding just a little bit of glue here to hold it in place. I'm going to line it up with this one as best I can. And I'll let it sit for a minute so that glue will hold. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to try to make sure it's all lined up. I tend to like to do it on the side. I don't know. It just seems like I can do it better. I don't know why. There we go. I'm going to let that dry for those two first. And I have a 2 3/8 and a 2 1/4 inch circle. And I just punched them. That's the beauty of it. And I'm going to ink up So Very Happy for You. I could put graduation. It could be a wedding card. It could be anything I want it to be. I'm going to put it to the right-hand side on the circle. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere the circle to the other one. Now, I am going to carefully, how do you peel off a sticker? I always try to tell people if it's a sticker, sometimes it's not. But you just start pulling it off, and it already has adhesive on it. And then you just kind of put it around. Isn't that? It's so simple, but it adds such a nice look. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, and this is how my card opens. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to lift. Now, this is where the white is, so I'm going to kind of keep my finger there. I really don't want to go past the white. And I'm going to kind of fold it in. And once again, you don't have to worry about it being perfect in the middle because this is going to be covered up. Don't you love that part? I do, personally. I'm going to put this right-hand finger here so I know where that is. And I'm going to try to get them to match as close as I can, if you can see how I'm doing it. Okay, now I'm going to go back on this side. Same thing, you don't want that white to show on the bottom. I mean, is this not easy or what? You think you're doing this really amazing thing and it's really just pinching the paper. Now, if they're not 100% exact, it's okay. Really is okay, because nobody's going to notice it. Trust me. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals and pop this up. Could you glue these flaps down? You could. I didn't. I'm not sure you need to. If you don't like things flapping up like that, you could put little dimensionals under those. I didn't, but you could. So let me get that one going. And here you have the pinched paper technique. Easy peasy, and yet it's a really fun look. Of the two cards, I like this one, but I like that one better. That's just me. If I was going to do this one again, I would have put the paper there and just had this color as the accent, but I wanted to try both. So I hope you give this a try, not hard, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.